If you've listened to me before, you know I talk a lot about websites with clear goals. This usually means booking that consultation call. But what I don't talk about enough is what happens after someone says yes. Or what if your website goal isn't a consultation at all, but it's an immediate purchase to make that sale? Today, I want to talk about actually collecting the money through your website because a beautiful strategic website means nothing if people can't easily pay you. Welcome to Website Design Made Simple, the podcast for busy small business owners who want a high performing website that converts and sells their offers, even while they're sleeping. Because you deserve to have a strategic and beautiful website that truly represents your brand and positions you as the expert that you are. I'm your host, Jenny B, web designer and creative director at Jenny B Designs, where we believe that your website is the one thing that makes you sales and builds your brand at the same time. Ready to say goodbye to a website that you're embarrassed to share? And hello to a money-making, personality-packed powerhouse? Let's head into today's episode. Hello, welcome back to the pod. Today we're going to talk about payment processors and systems. And systems is something that I highly believe in that need to be behind your website. I've done a bunch of different episodes, but probably the one that you might want to listen to is episode number 2, everything you need to know about the back-end systems to power your website. My belief is that when you have everything set up on the back end, your website will do all the heavy lifting to actually make that sale for you. If we haven't already met, quick introduction here. I'm Jenny B and I own Jenny B Designs. We are a brand and web design studio, and my passion is helping small business owners design beautiful but strategic websites that are designed to make you money. And this is exactly how we do it. We talk about what happens in your sales process and how we're going to integrate that process into your website so it works for you. Today's episode was inspired by a lot of my recent clients who've been coming to me with this problem, questioning how do they get payment that comes through their website and what do we need to implement on the back end to make that happen? And that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, the first thing I want to start with is your website needs to have a goal. What is the overall goal? For myself and for service-based businesses, particularly for custom services, high-ticket items, very personalized solutions, think web designers, contractors, consultants, design agencies, your website most likely will be driving people to book a consultation with you, to have a conversation, a sales conversation. And payment happens after that call when they say, yes, I want to work with you. A direct purchase model, a goal of your website is to get immediate payment. Visitors can buy what you're selling without talking to you first. And this would be most likely for the products, the courses. Perhaps you have a very standardized service, typically under a few $1,000s. If you're a course creator, you sell templates, physical products, mini services. The thing that you want to ask yourself is, if you're wondering, which am I? What do you want people to do right now on your website? Are they ready to buy immediately or do they need to talk to you first? And this determines your entire payment setup. And this payment setup applies to both, either the consultation or the ready to buy, because we want to make sure that your website is the first step in the entire process. Let's talk about the payment tools for the consultation-based businesses like myself, those higher custom-based sales. The post-consultation payment journey, what happens? They fill out your inquiry form on the contact page. You had that call, they say yes. Now what? And I like to ask my clients this because I want to know, what is your process? What can we integrate into the website to make this easiest for everyone, for you and for your clients? So what happens now? Most likely you will need to generate a contract. You will generate an invoice and get that payment processed. If you do a deposit, if you do a subscription, whatever you do, a payment plan. And the goal is to make it easy for those clients to move from yes to a paid client. Because someone can have a call with you, say yes, but if you can't get them to actually sign the contract and pay, they're not a true yes. You're not making money. I love to integrate a CRM for these types of clients. A lot of times clients come to me with a CRM already. I do work with a lot of designers and contractors and consultants and some creatives as well. I actually use HoneyBook. I love it. I find that it's easy to use. It integrates with your website nicely and it keeps everything all in one place. A lot of people use Dubsado. There's 17 hats. There's Moxie. Doctor practices that I've worked with, people use medical records. So they have electronic medical records and EMR that they integrate, and that is their CRM. They do their payments, they do their medical record keeping, they do contracts, everything in that system. Whatever it is, it would be a great way to use that on your website. A CRM is an easy place to put all of those pieces together. If you were to use a CRM, a client would fill out your contact form on your contact page. And this comes directly from your CRM. We're embedding it into your website so that when someone books a consultation, they're in your CRM and you can take them through the process. You get on that call, they say yes, and they're in the CRM. I always suggest that if you can use a CRM, this will keep things simple because you're integrating it into your website from the touch point of the contact form that they're filling out to schedule that appointment, and then you're taking them through the whole process. This would be the best way for you to integrate it into your website. Now, if you have the business that has the direct purchase, meaning you're selling something, a course, a digital download, whatever it is, something that is not a large investment, and it has clear set pricing, then for that, I suggest that you use a payment processor or a digital product system. Think about, what are you selling? Are you selling a digital product? If you have a course, I really enjoy ThriveCart for a course. I find that it integrates really nicely into your website and you can get paid easily through that. There's also Teachable, which is a low cost, and then Thinkific, as well as Kajabi, which is a little bit more of a larger type situation, and then Gumroad. A lot of people aren't familiar with this, but this is really simple for those digital downloads. If you're selling items, you have a shop. A lot of times I suggest that my clients go with Shopify. Shopify is a fantastic system for both websites and selling products, as well as the in-person payments. If you have a DIY website, Squarespace is a great way to sell products. If you have WordPress, I like to integrate SureCart. That is a very easy way to add products to your WordPress website and to collect the payment automatically right there on the spot. That's what I tend to use a lot for my clients. But the payment processors, the way that you actually get paid, my favorite is Stripe. I find that it works with any website, any type of tool that you want to use, and it has great customization. It also allows you to be able to create subscriptions, recurring payments. This is how I do a lot of my WordPress care plans. I use Stripe for that. When someone wants to sign up with a WordPress care plan for myself, I have a page on my website, talks all about my care plans, my packages. I have a smaller package that just has the care to update the plugins to make sure that there's nothing nefarious going on in the back end, the spam, things like that. And then I also have a plan that includes a strategy call once a quarter to look at your business and see how we can best align your website with your business. Both of these options on this website link them to a Stripe subscription payment sign up. And that's how I process my subscriptions. This is probably the only way that I sell products or a service that someone can actually just click and pay. This is for my clients that I've worked with. We built their website and this is how they sign up for that. But Stripe is a really easy way to do this. There's also Square, which allows you to do both the online and in-person sales, and you can connect that to your website so that someone can click a button and pay with Square. So those are some options for your getting payment immediately on your website. If you have a HoneyBook, that also offers ways that you can have basically buy a service. You can set it up in the back end of the system and then just integrate it. Either you can integrate it in the button or take them to a new page to learn about that product and to buy it right there. I believe that Dubsado does the same thing where you can pay on the spot. And ThriveCart is also another way that you can buy a service or some kind of purchase immediately on the spot. These are all different tools that you can integrate into your website to take payments, to sell things. Now, I want to give you some mistakes to avoid when you're thinking about integrating the payment process. I want you to not include too many options. This applies to, your payment options or your navigation. Too many options confuse people. Keep it really simple. You also want to avoid making them create an account just to buy something, ensuring that whatever processor you're using or whatever system or tool, they don't actually have to create an account to buy it. And having as few steps as possible is best. Now, you don't want to integrate payments on your website when you need to talk to someone first. That applies to these businesses like myself, the designers, the consultants that have a higher ticket purchase. You want to talk to someone, make sure it's the right fit, and then have them pay. If I had signed up for my website and my website build starts at $5,000, someone's most likely not going to want to click pay unless they speak to me. So think about, what is it that you want to do? How do you want someone to work with you? And understanding how your customers actually want to purchase. And finally, some technical issues. Be sure to check that your payment forms work on mobile phones. That is really important. Mobile first, as I always say, check it on your phone. Go through the process yourself. Make sure it's not confusing, it's not slow. And if you need to have any security badges that show that something is secure, like if you go to a website and you're clicking pay and something just looks off to you, make sure as you're going through the process on your own website that it doesn't, that you can build that trust with your clients, that you are protecting them and you have their best interests at heart. And those would be the ways that you could integrate payment processors onto your website, or collect payment, I should say, on your website. So to recap, let's do a quick implementation. What can you do? If you're a consultant-based business, think about integrating a CRM that integrates with payments. I mentioned HoneyBook, Dubsado, Moxie. There are some great ones out there. And start by connecting it to your website's contact form. After you do that, you can think about setting up the contract and invoice templates in that CRM. And then test that whole process. When someone comes to you from inquiry to payment, it makes everything seamless and go on behind the scenes. Now, if you have a direct purchase business, think about having a payment processor if you don't already. Stripe is what I recommend for flexibility. And think about how you can add buy buttons to your services or product pages. Make sure that your delivery for these digital products work, and check everything on mobile, because mobile is really important. And for everyone, whether you have that consultation-based business or you have that direct purchase, make sure your pricing is clear and it is somewhere on your site. I'm a big advocate for transparency. And even if it's starting at or a range, because you do that custom proposal, ensuring that it is on your site. And that everything works on mobile. I'll say it again, I said it for every single option. But we all are busy, we're on our phones, checking on your phone to make sure it works. And there you have it. That's my quick and dirty version of how to accept payments on your website. Your website needs to make it easy for people to give you money. And you just want to make sure that you're choosing a model that matches how your customers want to buy and how your business works. You can start with one simple tool and then add more as you grow. So if you found yourself thinking, I am not sure what my overall website goal is, or if you have a goal that doesn't truly align with what your sales process is, then reach out to me. Perhaps a website coaching call might be a really good fit for you. Together on that call, we can talk about what is your sales process, what tools are you using in the back end, and how we can integrate it onto your website to make it work the best for your business at this current point in time. So thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you next time. And that wraps up another episode of Website Design Made Simple. I hope you found the insights shared in this episode valuable and takes you one step closer to creating a website that attracts more of your ideal clients and builds your brand. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a minute to leave a review on Apple Podcasts or a rating on Spotify. Your review will help us reach more small business owners like you who are ready to make more money with their website. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.